Hey, payday, you want payday? I know that. Canelo Lies exposed. Canelo Alvarez, he had stated, and it was stated, that he had a big announcement. Nobody knew exactly what this big announcement was going to be. So what did people decide to do? You guessed it. In the world of boxing, when in doubt, just make up the rest. When in doubt, all you got to do is lie. And that's exactly what happened. So I've read a lot of weird clickbait titles on YouTube, Facebook groups posting craziness, X, formerly known as Twitter, and conspiracy theories, none of which have actually amounted to anything. And now Canelo Alvarez did the interview with Box Azteca, and he didn't even really say much. But it's funny, even with Canelo not saying much, the few things that he did say completely exposed all the people who lied on his name, right? Because there were a lot of people who were saying that Canelo, payday, you want, I know that. They were saying that Canelo was going to fight against Jaime Munguia, but he pretty much ruled out Jaime Munguia because Canelo stated that he is not fighting a Mexican. He said he's fighting an American fighter. It's not going to be a Mexican fighter. So that leads people to wonder, is it Crawford maybe? Is it Jamal Charlo? Is it, some wild card? But either way, it can't be Jaime Munguia because he's not American. And Canelo specifically said he's not fighting a Mexican person on Cinco de Mayo. He said the opponent is not Mexican. So by way of heritage, Jaime Munguia has been ruled out completely. All right? So that's one lie down. The other thing I was reading, people were saying that Canelo was going to announce his retirement. And I'm like, retirement? Why would he retire right now? He has so much more money he can make. There's also great fights like the Benavidez fight and other things he could still do. Why? His body doesn't look like it's completely broken down to the point where retirement is needed. He's not injured to my knowledge. So that didn't really make sense to me. Why would he be thinking about a retirement at this point of his career? And he's only like 33 years old, I believe, 33, maybe going to be 34. So that didn't make sense. Canelo Alvarez refuted that. Canelo Alvarez just today, he announced that he plans on fighting probably at least another 5 years. So that's like till he's late 30s. That's like till he's almost 40, 38 years old. So now we're down to two lies down. They said he was going to retire, and they said that Jaime Munguia was his next opponent, and then the last major lie that I seen people guessing and speculating was that Canelo was leaving PBC, that there was trouble in paradise, some kind of trouble with Al Heyman. I read all types of rumors that Al Heyman and PBC couldn't reach a deal. They didn't have the funds to pay Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo Alvarez was mad, and he was going to go, I guess, to his old promoter of Golden Boy and fight Jaime Munguia off network. And I'll have you know that in this Canelo interview with Box Azteca, none of that came up. He didn't say one word about having problems with Al Heyman. He didn't say he was leaving PBC. None of these things that so many people were putting online one way or another. And it looks very bad. And I think this is what hurts the sport of boxing. Listen, how many times do you have to be lied to by the same creators, by the same people on Twitter or wherever, Facebook groups, before you check out and say, hey, you have absolutely no credibility here. I can't be bothered. I can't waste my time. It seems so common sense, I guess, to me. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that is the way everyone works. So for me, I feel like to get boxing where it should be, to make it the #1 sport again, we got to clean up the streets. And then if you're openly supporting known liars who constantly put out bad information, misinformation, everything's clickbait, everything's scare tactics, they're always wrong. Their dates are wrong. Their venues are wrong. The fights they say are going to happen are wrong. Their fight predictions are wrong. Like literally everything is wrong with certain people, right? And until the boxing fans stop being thirsty and, tally people up, including me. But I'm the best in the business. I'm the best in boxing history. So I'm not worried about it one bit. I know my credibility is intact. I know I'm not putting out BS. I know I ain't just talking for the sake of talking or just to like trick you to click on something. I don't have to do all that, right? So at the end of the day, you could hold me to the same standard. I know my accuracy rating since I came in the game has been at an elite level in terms of being high, but that's not the same thing. And again, you had a lot of people who condone this and, oh, Canelo, he left PBC and Al Heyman, and you got fans that act like idiots and they don't care if the source is credible. They don't care about who started the rumor. They don't look into it further. They just run along with it and then write comments like, oh yeah, I knew PBC ran out of money. I knew PBC couldn't afford Canelo. And I'm like, what is going on in the world of boxing where if you don't have the information, you just make it up? That's extremely weird to me. And I think it's very detrimental to the growth of this beautiful sport of boxing where nothing can be trusted. And you hear me constantly say it on my channel. And best believe, for the record, I could easily overly clickbait all of you. I know how to title my stuff to make it sound crazy. I have an extensive vocabulary. Trust me, I can find the words to make you click on something, but I'm not here for that. Of course, here's the thing with clickbait. Everybody clickbait as a YouTuber to a degree, like harmless clickbait, like in terms of making people curious or clever wording. Like that's not the issue. But like I said on Twitter, you have people who say breaking and breaking news and it's followed by a lie. You also have people who will put stuff in quotes in their title and nobody actually said that. You have people who have quotes from fighters or whatever in boxing and no one else is reporting it. You can't trace these quotes back to anybody. So it's like, where did you get this information? How come Boxing Scene and top boxing channels or whoever, no one else seems to have this information? And I think that stuff hurts boxing the more that we feed into it. And Canelo, I think, because he's a big name, is a great example of this recently. He's not the only example. It's always happening in boxing. And I think this is what makes us look like clowns to other sports and to other people, or even turns away new fans that want to learn about the sport because it becomes too confusing. Boxing has to stop shooting itself in the foot. There's a lot of belts in the business of boxing and politics and bad scorecards and fights where like Teofimo, I don't think he won last Thursday, things like that. So we already have to deal with those situations, which are completely separate. So we add on to it by allowing people to deliver lies nonstop and continue to support that and just be okay with like, man, hey, you have no credibility. You told me that Canelo was do. You said Canelo was fighting Munguia, or he hates Al Heyman leaving PBC. Like where's the follow-up? You see what I'm saying? Like, and even in a fight, it gets to a point where the referee, if someone's getting their butt whipped, a referee will tell the fighter, hey, you got to show me something. And that's how I feel with people's credibility and integrity in the world of boxing. You got to show me something. How you have 10 predictions, they're all wrong. You have 10 pieces of information, all wrong. 10 quotes, all wrong. I mean, it's just not a good look, and it's deceiving to the fans. And Canelo being, again, big is a great example of this, because everybody wants to be first. No one even cares if it's reliable or accurate. And I tell you all the time on my videos, like, I'd rather just wait for Gervonta Davis to announce his next fight instead of all this speculation. People in the last few months, they said Gervonta Davis is fighting Ricky Hatton's son, Campbell Hatton. They said Gervonta is fighting Frank Martin. Some people said he was fighting Devin Haney. Some people said he was fighting Pitbull Cruz too. Meanwhile, Tank ain't said none of this. Some people said he was fighting Conor Benn. Tank has never explained or revealed who he's fighting. So why does boxing continue to do this? You guys open the conversation. Well, this video will open the conversation, and let me know in the comment section, like, what pledges you guys are going to make as boxing fans to rid the game of some of this disaster, which is the misinformation. Like, I hate stuff like this on the internet. That's one thing I hate about the internet. It'll be like, I've seen open it and be like, Usher died, and you're like, what? No way. There can't be. And you find out it was like some scam saying a celebrity passed away, or weird stuff like Joe Rogan is da-da-da-da. Like, you see all these weird comments, and I don't see how that's acceptable, especially if you care about the growth of the sport of boxing.